I'm alive. I'm live. Anyway, I used to sing in the beginning of these lives because I played music, but now I'm like posting it to other platforms and I'm worried that that's like illegal, so I'm not going to do that. So anyway, hi, Noelle Gatz here. It's another episode of Heart Home Harmony Live with amazing creative people joining me, and today I have Megan Pisano, who is here. I see her, so we will have her join me in a moment. She's a phenomenal person and a local girl, and I'm excited to chat with her about it. So again, Heart Home Harmony is a fun series of like really casual interviews so you can get to know creatives in the industry. I'm Noelle Gatz. I'm your host. I'm an HGTV host and designer, and I'm also a legit designer in Northern New Jersey. So ex-actress also, so that's why you hear me sing sometimes. Okay, Megan, we're gonna do it.
Am I on?
It's a miracle.
Oh,
Never practice. The practice is useless. I'm stopping it.
Yeah. I was like stressed. I was like, oh my God, I can't get on here.
Oh, and I kept telling you, I was like, listen, I have a feeling the practice is just not gonna work. And we're just gonna make it work. And it's true. So I bet you $1 million, if anyone is watching who knows what they're doing, they're probably all like, seriously, Noelle, duh, like this is how you do it. I'll watch a tutorial or something and we'll figure out how to do the practice. But isn't the point of a practice to be able to practice?
Yeah, well, this is much better than practice.
I agree.
Yeah.
Again, the point of these lives is really to be candid, so there's no point. You look phenomenal. I like your background.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm at my office. So yeah,
it's a beautiful office.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've seen some pictures of it, and it's in Chatham, right?
Yeah, I'm in downtown Chatham.
Live there as well?
Yeah, about a half a mile.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
So sometimes I walk to work or run if I don't have like a million things.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally. If you can be a little bit sweaty and like just show up there, that's great. Because some days, many days we don't meet clients there. It's really mostly clients, right?
Yeah. Like a couple times a month I'll meet a client here, but that's it.
I still have my home studio. So one day I'm thinking about it, but it's scary to pull the trigger there.
Well, it's like a nice separation of like home and then work.
Absolutely. In fact, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your journey. So, how did you get here? How did you become an interior designer? And because I know we all have such crazy stories sometimes. I don't know if yours is crazy or if it's
that's a little. I mean, it's crazy. Thinking back, but so when I had my son, who is 6 now, I had postpartum. So I quit my big league job in the city during maternity leave to stay at home with him, and then for like a year I had postpartum, but I didn't know that it was postpartum. So I was like,
oh my God, we have to talk about this a little.
What is this? Like this, I don't feel good. I don't feel right. So then I was like, I need to like do something to my like creativity. And my cleaning lady actually was like, are you an interior designer? And I said, yeah. So that's
just said yes.
Kind of fake it till you make it, I guess. But so I had one client and I just kind of was like, this is awesome. I marketed on Facebook to all the moms groups like crazy, like constantly. Yeah. And then it just kind of turned into a full-time career. So
did you feel like that really helped you? I mean, obviously postpartum has a huge range of severity, right? I mean, it can be psychosis, it can be a lot of things. I love that you brought that up, and I'm so thankful because a lot of people are very private about that, and you should be, and you don't have to go into details, but I just feel like, wow, to know that really successful, wonderful people with wonderful lives like have been through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I thought that's how it was supposed to be, motherhood, but then I was like, wait, but no, but I'm not happy. Like I'm really like miserable. So yeah, I did go on Zoloft and all that, but like, and then for my second baby, I was like so prepared. I was like, I don't want this again. This is what I'm doing. So luckily,
do you feel like your providers were on top of it too? Do you feel like your providers noticed and were like, or do you feel like you faked it too well?
Well, like when I went to the checkups and stuff, I was like, yeah, I feel fine. So I guess I faked it a little bit, but then I was like, no, I don't feel fine. Something's wrong.
And again, like you said, and this is actually really segues into the career too, is the sort of fake it till you make, but when does that become something where you've got to do something else? Like you've got to do something extra. I give you so much credit for figuring that out about yourself and getting what you needed.
Yeah.
I actually struggled with postpartum anxiety, which is a little different. I guess it's postpartum
I think I had it all or something.
Yeah. 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 And I also thought this is just me now. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna suffer through it. I loved my kids. I didn't have any trouble
Oh no.
attaching. It was like other things.
Oh yeah.
And so I just suffered through it for a while. And it took me a while to get some like help from a doctor where they're like, no, you could use this help
Yeah.
for a
Well,
little
like
while.
I was kind of against the medication, but I was like, I need something because this is not
Yeah.
working out for me
And
too
again, there's
well.
no reason to be against it. If you've tried everything else and you need help, this is the
Yeah.
way to go. I
Yeah.
love that. And I
So,
love that you just dove into that career. Do you feel like that career really helped you find your legs again, like find your feet
well,
as
so
you
I went to school for interior design.
Good.
It's always been like my thing, but I never thought that I would have like a full-time business, because I'm not a business person. Like I don't, it's hard.
Yeah.
Then I was like, wow, I can do this. So I just kept doing it, and I have like an awesome team and so many supporters. So it's going well.
You built it grassroots. So you
Yeah.
went to design school, then you did something else.
So I went to interior design school, and then I worked at B&B Italia, a furniture company in the city,
Right.
for like 10 years as like their interior design salesperson. And I learned how other interior designers work. So I kind of
Yeah, you got
was like, no, I'm going to do this.
to learn in the
Yeah,
field.
because it's a messy field,
Yeah.
as you know.
Yeah.
So, but every day I learn, every new client I learn. So
Yeah. I feel like one of the hardest things to navigate for me was the like tax stuff, which we could have a whole show about that. And I don't even know if I could talk about it because I like had to be like, I think I get it, but like bookkeeper and
oh my
accountant
gosh,
help me figure this out.
yeah,
I think interior designers actually have the weirdest
Yeah.
business when it comes to all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have an accountant, a new accountant, and then I also hired a bookkeeper that like a couple weeks ago because I was like, I don't know what's going on.
That's what I did too, and she's learned a lot because she's it's just a totally different business than her other small businesses, which is really crazy.
Money's coming in from every which way, and you're like, what?
Because we both sell things, and we mostly sell services, but we also sell things.
Yeah, like
because we
furniture
get
and stuff. Yeah, so it's very confusing.
It's so confusing. Oh my gosh! So, like you said, not considering yourself a business owner, that's pretty incredible that you were able to just tell yourself maybe start slow, like you said, build it slowly, figure it out as you go, and you now are in the thick of it all. You're doing a lot of PR and marketing. I think you do that really well.
I mean, that's like some things that I could delegate, but I actually like to do that. So I'm keeping the stuff I like to do for myself, and then I'm delegating the rest.
Exactly. I mean, I noticed that you were on Louie and Niagara's podcast too with the talking about, which is really marketing, social media, how that works for you, how it's not necessary to be like a giant influencer with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of followers or tens of thousands of followers, but how it's still so vital for a business, right?
Well, especially like the creative business, like Instagram, is what it is. Like you have to have it for this type of industry.
Right. But you also have to know the difference. Like you said, you can tell how it's valuable to you without feeling like you need to have 100,000 followers.
Right. Well, so like
I'm
like focused in on like my location, what my followers like to see. Also, like I sprinkle in personal life too a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm a real person.
Yeah. Like, hey, it's like being a teacher. You're like, no, I know. Actually
Sometimes
exist.
I think like I see clients outside of like working, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah. Me too. Do you find, so people always warn you against working with friends or working with people you know. I found I do that really well. What have you done any of that, or what do you think?
Working with
like
friends?
People you know, maybe they're not like your best friends, but like I've had good experienses with that personally.
I've worked, not like close friends. I mean, I have one client who's like a good friend who she's awesome. She's in Ridgewood. Hi, Caitlin, if you're watching. But so she lives in Ridgewood, but she just keeps hiring me back, and we work really well together. That's why. But then like the other clients have become friends because they also like keep hiring me back, or we talk like on text.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But like I won't work with like a really good friend or something, just in case.
I don't know. It's so interesting because everyone's different. I think it's really just personality based and expectations and things like that. But maybe it's that I only have a few really close friends, so everyone else I can sort of like be comfortable with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, but I love that. And Chatham's a
It,
great area. So how did
yeah,
you
it's such a
find,
good area.
you probably had to dive right into kind of higher end projects, right?
Yeah, so I basically it's like Chatham Summit. I love Summit. Those homes
Hmm.
are so old and like fun. Yeah. Um, Chatham Summit, Madison, Ridgewood.
Yeah.
Like I want to start in Bernardsville now because of the mansion, but
Yeah.
that
Well,
was
this is a
fun.
good segue. Can we talk
Yeah.
about the mansion? So, guys, you can tell us a little bit about it. You probably know more than me. I just sort of discovered it this year.
So that's where I met you, was the mansion.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, I know you.
same. And I was like, I've seen you on social media.
Yeah, so it was like on my bucket list. I was like, I've been to them and I was like, this looks fun. I'm gonna try this. So then I applied for it and they didn't give me my first choice, which was a bathroom, but my friend got it. So I made friends with her, so we're friends now.
Good.
But then they're like, we want you to do the entry. And I was like, sure, whatever. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Beautiful. And I have to tell you, it's a blessing in disguise in a way because everyone sees that right away. It's their first
I
impression.
know. It was, which I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
I
you
was
didn't
like,
think
wow, I
about
have
that,
to talk
huh?
to like 2,000 people, 20,000 people coming through. I didn't like know, but it was
And I think
awesome.
it's
It was,
incredibly
yeah,
memorable because it's the first thing you see, and you did a beautiful job.
thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll do it again. It depends on situations, but maybe. I mean, it was fun.
Well, it's worth talking about why. Why is it a
It was
challenge? So there's a couple
because,
things.
it was like well, the thing was a month. It was all of May, the mansion, but then you had working up to it and then after also. So it's like a huge chunk of your time is cut out for
And it's
this
free.
mansion. I unfortunately put clients on back burners. Like I couldn't be totally available. So that was
Yeah,
a
that's
downfall. But
difficult to
yeah,
navigate.
yeah.
So just to explain it a little, there's this beautiful. It's hard to even find them. They only do it every couple years usually
Yeah,
because
I think they do it like once every other year because it's like a whole committee that finds this mansion and you have to like talk to the owner. If there's an owner, you have to like make sure you can do it. And yeah, it's like a
because
whole huge.
you can imagine. So guys who are listening who don't know what a show house is, like they're basically giving of their home,
Yeah.
okay, to let a bunch of designers do a bunch of different
Yeah.
styles in their home in different rooms. And I know there's some negotiations, like sometimes they'll say, well, I want to pick the designer for my kitchen or whatever, so they know they're going to keep that investment.
Yeah.
But generally they have to be willing to either rip it out if they don't like it and have an on part of the dime of the committee, right, or the
Yes.
organization.
Yeah.
But can you
Well,
imagine like if you really don't love it, you're ripping it out?
I ripped everything out.
Yeah, but you have to because it's supposed to be diverse, like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a variety of styles in every room.
Yeah.
Usually a different designer does
Yeah.
every room, so obviously they're not going to keep it all because it won't go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun to like do it. And I met so many great people. And
Yeah,
networking, I love networking. No matter what, I'm like a networker. So
and so that's something that as a smaller studio too, the finances alone, because like you said, you donate a lot of time, but you probably also wind up, because of that only, you're losing money.
yeah, luckily Brienne, she's my right hand
Yeah.
girl, but she's very helpful. So she was like kind of on the back end of everything, which was good.
Amazing.
But
So she sort of helped manage it all while you
yeah,
were like, but still, that's hours
out
of time and you're paying
like
her.
every day I was there pretty much, like
Yeah.
saying hi to people, getting my picture
But
taken. It was fun.
so bougie and fun, guys. Okay, so like I'm not super bougie, like, and nothing's wrong with bougie. I love to dabble in it one time or another. Like I tend to be more like low key. Like this is how I get dressed up. Okay, it's like the
Same.
yeah,
Same.
yeah. You
That's
wore
my
your big
dress up.
earrings for me. I love it. But it is really cool to experience those kind of things, where they have. I mean, this estate was gorgeous. It was like beautiful grounds in the middle of nowhere, like by itself,
Yeah.
right? Incredible home, historic home.
Yeah.
There was like natural stone, and it
yeah.
was such a.
It's a fun thing to do for people,
But you
like
have to
anybody.
like probably limit your. As a small studio, you probably can't do it all the time. So it's something you have to really
right.
navigate.
Because we're paying for it.
Yet.
Like we're paying for the furniture for the.
Or getting it donated.
Right, or getting it donated. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff donated, but
because it's a show house for them too. So a lot of the brands will donate wallpaper or donate drapery or whatever, so that
yeah,
it gets Okay.
I got all my drapery and wallpaper donated
And it was
by
stout,
Stout.
right?
Hmm.
Stout,
Which
great. Oh my gosh, I
is
really.
my so, is this show and tell
Is
time?
that the one? Oh, you're save it. Unless you have something else.
Well, no, I have
Okay,
like three things because I
then
could
show
just.
this. This was
Okay.
from the show house, or is
So,
this
well, so this was the wallpaper from my show house, and
right?
my mom made me skirts to match it. I don't know if you remember, but I'll post it. But so, like, this is like a little cute skirt she'd
Oh
made to
my
match the
god.
wallpaper, so it was like all
Your
fitting in.
mom is the coolest.
I know.
I cannot handle that. That is adorable. I kind of remember now. I'm like, it was all a blur.
I'll post a picture after this.
That would be great.
So now I'm
That's
like,
great.
oh, I should, like, every room I do with the wallpaper, I should get a matching skirt. Blah, blah, blah.
You'd have way
I
too
know.
many, but that's a great idea.
I know.
You could have a whole line. I mean, people have done it before too. Actually, who did I just meet at High Point Market? Oh no, now I need to find the designer. I think it was at Fabric Hut.
Oh,
And she did the same thing. She had the material made into a dress, and she was wearing the
that's
dress.
so
It was
cool.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I just got so High Points, I guess. Are you going? I'm going in
Yes, so
April.
High Point Market, guys, another big trade show. So fun. I am going in spring. That is the plan.
I've never been.
Um,
I
oh my
know.
gosh. Oh my gosh. It's, if you're like me in this way, it's like Disneyland for designers to me. Like, I love it. I love seeing everything. There's champagne in like every showroom, which is delightful.
I've heard.
And it's just it's inspiring. Some seasons may be more inspiring than others, and especially if you go a lot, you start to see some of the repeat
Right.
things in the season. But there are some really stunning showrooms
I
and
know. I can't
events
wait.
and speakers, and so we'll have to connect
Yeah,
over there. But you
for
brought
sure.
up something when you brought up that wallpaper. I just want to say this. Okay, so you and I clearly have an affinity for blue. I know I have like green all back here, and I just want to have you talk a little bit about why that's fine, because people like to give us a lot of, I don't know, me. They're
For
like,
blue,
well, they're like, it's, you really like blue. I'm like, yeah, I do.
blue's a calming color, I think.
It's universal.
Yeah, I mean,
Almost everyone
it's
likes
not gonna
it.
go. It's not going to be
Yeah.
dated, or it's like a timeless color.
Yeah. And there's a reason. And one of the great things I loved when I was perusing your portfolio is there are so many ways to do it. It's not like it's one feeling. It's not
Right.
like it's one. I mean, you definitely specialize in the sort of the coastal feel, the like sort of clean
Yeah.
and contemporary traditional mix, I guess I would say. But like clean and light and airy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and I like to add like a little color here or there, like the blue or green.
yeah. And the monochrome of that is so interesting. Like, I think people don't always give it a lot of credit.
Yeah.
That you can do so many diverse and dynamic things with various shades of blue.
Oh yeah, I love doing the monochromatic, like different shades. Totally.
Too. Me too. That is so awesome. So thank you for the tips on the show house. Any other tips for people? Like, say if either to go, if a designer wanted to do one, do you have any tips about?
I guess just be prepared to like be totally focused into the show house while you're doing it.
And that's months.
I liked what?
That's months of time, right?
Of time, but I also liked to be there and liked to meet new people, and like if you love to network and you kind of want to showcase your work or whatever, definitely do one.
Right.
And you can see one of the girls I met was like, it's like having a baby. You like forget about it, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, you're like, it's so easy.
Yeah. It's like,
it's funny that you say that, because as a mother, and this is another thing that's really interesting, many designers are mothers. I think a lot of people get back into it or start their own entrepreneurial business because they've been home with the kids, or they have time to sort of build it slowly. Right. But I just feel like that's an interesting thing to talk about a little bit, also to bring that in. But I never experienced I never experienced the forgetting how hard it was.
So I have two boys, 6 and 2, and
they're
little, which is hard.
So much,
but now my
time,
so much, but now my 6-year-old's like, Mommy's a designer. Mommy's like, he knows now, and he like likes to talk about it, which is really cute. I know. He's like, did you design that? I was like, yes.
Oh, cute.
So now, and yesterday he decided he wants to be an artist. I was like, perfect.
And you
but
take over the family business.
But then I was, yeah, it's hard to manage them, but it's, I'm trying.
Yeah,
it's hard to
absolutely.
life and kids and family, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a ton of work.
The best thing is it's like flexible. Like yesterday was a snow day. I had to stay home with him, and it was whatever.
Oh my gosh. The last 2 days, y'all, we had snow days, or we just had delays up here. And it was almost worse because it was just like all my morning routine of like meetings and emails totally shifted.
Yeah.
But again, I always feel like you do fortunate that we can sort of create.
Yeah.
That's the positive about being the entrepreneur, right? I mean, maybe you don't make as much money in the beginning. Maybe you're, spending a lot of money paying out for people to do some of the work so that you can have that flexibility. But to me, it was everything. I mean, this is why I wanted to do it.
It's so flexible. Which is the best thing. But then you're also working like 24/7.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
Which
At
is,
night,
I mean,
on the weekends.
Yeah, you like what you do. Like I love it, so I don't mind.
That's exactly right. This is so interesting too to talk about because I try to tell people this as well. It sounds like you're very similar. It is partly my hobby. It isn't. I mean, there's a lot of work, but the part that I love about it, I love it enough that I would do it for fun. Almost.
Yeah, I would do it for free if I could.
If you could, don't make a living. If you could,
to that client's watching.
Don't. Yeah, wait. Let's edit that out. Wait, we can't.
No, I can't.
It's live.
This is my living. This is how I make.
Exactly. I'm still trying to figure that out. This is actually another interesting topic for another day with someone else. I think is talking about the road to entrepreneurship, which we are talking about, but how that is so different for everyone. I mean, there are people who don't have the flexibility, or they don't have the background, and I know a lot of people who did it while they were doing a full-time job and trying to build something. It's just so incredible.
And the different drive you have to what I say is you can't sit on your butt and wait for things to happen. You have to make the things happen.
Totally.
Yeah, that's
and do you pay for I don't want to ask too much, but do you do any advertising, or have you found it valuable to do some of the advertising?
I've never done actual advertising. Well, I take that back. So I was in a few magazines, and then they asked me to advertise, and I did because they put me as a feature.
You gave them, yeah.
And so I advertised for that. But little things, for the Chatham High School play, I'm putting a little advertisement thing.
Yeah.
Just local little things. Just
keep your name popping up. So maybe for people, because obviously you're getting a lot of return clientele, which is how I think so many of us do it, word of mouth, all of that. But it's great to have your name or your logo or whatever pop up.
Whoever they are, they say if you see your name or see someone's name 7 or 8 times, then they'll remember. It's like a marketing tool. I've heard.
That's why you got to start dropping off your, I got to start dropping off my business cards.
I do.
I guess.
Sometimes I send flyers. But
oh, really?
I have 1,000
mailers
extra from management.
I love that. I actually love your logo. So if you go to Megan's website, it's beautiful. It's really simple.
Thank you.
Beautiful logo. And that is really a fun thing when you're designing your logo too, right?
I was actually thinking to rebrand, but now that you say that it's a good logo, I'm going to keep it.
Just my opinion. I'm not the...
I like your opinion. I'm definitely keeping my logo now.
Okay, good. I'm not the be all end all, but I think it's really sweet. I think it speaks to it has a little curve. It's simple and pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So are you growing your team? Your team right now is you've got a great right-hand woman.
Yeah, so she is pregnant, Brianne, right? But so she's she's feeling okay. But yeah, I'm looking for a project manager.
Yeah.
Which is a difficult kind of position because it's not really interior design. It's more literally managing my projects. So.
And there's so much behind the scenes, y'all, when it comes to the purchasing, the procurement, the inventory, the check-ins.
Gosh, yeah, it's a big job.
This is something I find interesting too. So this is great. You're hiring a project manager. You have a junior designer essentially, right?
Yeah, design associate is what she likes to be called.
Sorry. No, that's correct. Because actually it's so funny. I just had this conversation with mine. I was like, which one would you kind of prefer? She didn't seem to mind. She's like, they call it the same thing.
Yeah.
But she sure does sound like a little bit.
Well, I was like, my design
patronizing
assistant. And she's like, well, can you call me your design associate? I'm like, yes, that's fine.
There you go. Works for me.
Yeah.
And then everyone hires differently. I think I'm actually going to hire a part-time, like purchasing and procurement manager. So it's not even really fully project management. Like we'll manage the design
Okay, yeah.
side, and
Yeah.
then that person will do a lot of the back end, maybe even the invoices and that stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
guys,
That's like so time consuming.
I know. This is why it's great if you can. You know, a lot of people fresh out of school,
Yeah.
they want to work with the big companies. I think that's smart. You did that. It's a great way to get experience. But you can even get so much experience working for an entrepreneur, right? Because you're going to see everything that's entailed in that.
Well, also they have to be aware of crazy brains.
Visionary brains?
Visionary. I mean, visionary brains.
That's how I like to call us. Whenever I want to say crazy or, you know, distracted. Or I'm like, we're visionaries.
I like the visionary's good too.
We
but
cannot be expected to be
these brains
organized.
They work differently than other people's brains.
Absolutely. And every second, at the same time, I feel like every second I'm thinking of everything everyone needs.
Me too. Oh my gosh.
That's a skill.
Me too. It's crazy.
That's a skill. Okay, let's get to our fun stuff because we're like 5 minutes out. This was fun too. Don't get me wrong. We're fun, period. But I have some questions for you, and then we get to do show and tell.
Yes.
So she has like 7 show and tells, so we're gonna the more the merrier.
I know.
I love it. What is warming your heart these days? So when you it can be anything, like honestly, anything.
So I've had a hard time with like being a mom and being with my kids. So what's warming my heart is literally just my 2 boys like on top of me and just like tickling and just like being silly together.
So that, like you're feeling that return, right? You're knowing that you're making that difference, which is hard to do sometimes when you're a parent.
I mean, it only lasts like 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes I like cherish.
I know, me too.
Like, all right, bye.
So my youngest is 10, and she'll still snuggle with me sometimes, and I'm like, it's so embarrassing. I'm like catching myself now saying this. I'm like, do you want to snuggle? Do you want to snuggle? And it's like,
I do both of them. I know.
Well, you'll get snuggles for a little longer.
Yeah.
I mean, my boys were snuggles.
Hopefully forever.
Forever.
I know.
I don't know about that. My 19-year-old, no.
Oh.
He won't.
Yeah.
No. But he loves me dearly. But he's just not going to snuggle.
So that warms my heart.
That's awesome. Your boys. So sweet. Can we see pictures of them anywhere on your
I'll post
Instagram or
post on my stories. I don't put them in the feed.
Yeah, you just wanted to.
My feed's very particular.
I get it. You know what's hard is having 2 feeds. Guess who tried that?
And I know. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Can't, you guys.
I couldn't do that.
I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, what does home mean to you these days?
Like being comfortable. Like I know home is like where the heart is, but my home is my home. Like I'm so comfortable in my home. Like my bedroom, I just redid it, and I love laying in my bed, working on my computer, just like that's home.
That is wonderful because it is true. The physical aspect of home is also home. Like it doesn't have to just be a feeling. It's like this is why it's important what we do, I really think. Because even if you can, you know, it makes it's your place to re-energize, right?
Right.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
We got to share pictures of your bedroom now.
I know. That's on my to-do list. That's on my to-do list.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll have it on. We'll check her story. So that's at Megan Pisano, MEGAN PISANO Designs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I always forget people's handles, but so Megan Pisano Designs. And
no S. Wait,
what?
Is there an S? Ah! No S.
Somebody check. Singular. Design.
Yeah.
We should have checked this. That's great. So we'll check that back, and we will get to see maybe some of your coaching, some of your home.
Yes, I will.
What about the last one? So people sometimes get thrown by this. I don't know if you will. Are you musical at all?
No, but I know the harmony,
get it?
Right? I was like, what does this mean?
Sometimes I like to make people get a little analytical.
Harmony,
yeah. What is it? Harmony means like a feeling that things are working together. They can be dissonant. We talked about this before with another guest. It can be anything, but it's like the way that everything is going together. So
like
my question for people, like what creates that feeling for you? What makes you feel like, okay, this is it. It's working.
Well, just everything. I mean, I guess that goes along with one of my favorite things is everything happens for a reason, which I strongly believe. You know, if this didn't happen, this one happened. So, you know, if things are going bad, you just keep going because something good will happen.
I love that advice because it's very easy. That's a great advice, and that's also not what you always hear, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's in that situation where things aren't feeling great where you can really discover,
like, you can just do it.
And just do it and recognize the power of that, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, life is hard. Everyone has issues. There's always stuff going on, but you just have to like kind of do what works for you, make you happy, figure it out. And
that is so important too, to kind of, I think, and also to never stop growing.
Right.
Like we don't just know ourselves like every second. Like we have to grow and discover those things. And through all the triumphs and all the challenges, that's what I always say, triumphs and challenges.
Yeah.
Right?
Like for example, this is quick because I know we have,
please.
So I didn't know my brain worked the way it did. I thought I was like, something was wrong because you know how entrepreneur brains work. They're just like crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy, diverse. Wait, no. Visionary. So I was like, what's wrong? But I was like, no, this is who I am. This is my visionary brain. Like, I'm going to accept it. I'm going to be okay with it. And I'm just going to roll with it.
And you're going to recognize that is your superpower.
Yeah, and I'm going to recognize it. And it's helped me so much.
Yeah, so absolutely. Clearly it has. There's so much more in your future. I think we'll run into each other a lot more now.
I'm excited.
I love to connect with other designers. I recognize that we all bring something different to the table. I love that about us.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see more from you and see more of you. But first, you have to do your show and tell. So what's your favorite? And then if we have to do a couple. Okay.
So this one is also a mansion one that you can sell everything at the mansion, but I kept her.
Oh, beautiful.
Because I love her.
She's like you.
She's she spoke to me. It's a designer, Amanda Tucker, who I love.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Who does the art as well?
She did the art. Yeah, she did it.
Beautiful. The colors are stunning.
Yeah, so that's like, she sits above my desk here at work. I took her down.
That's your mood. It's like, it's almost like a mix between this painting Megan just showed.
I'll show it again.
Not that this is the podcast, but we're pretending it's a podcast, kind of. It's like a cross between masquerade and superhero.
Yeah,
I love it.
And she's like, I can do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And that you just
I
have
love
to
that.
kind of. And this little thing.
I love him.
So I like estate sales and garage sales and antiquing and vintage and all that fun stuff. And I just found this at a estate sale, and I was like, I have to have this.
It's vintage.
It's so cute. Yeah.
It is so cute. Because there was an era, I forget what time period it was. I think it was the 60s or the 50s when they did all those ceramic cats.
But maybe it was.
They weren't like that. That's what I'm saying. This is special because they were really always like these fluffy Persian cats. It was the funniest thing, and they'd like plop them under their coffee table. It's just like they're pretend cats, but that one's cool.
I know, it's fun.
I love it. It's fun like you. So you may look refined, and you may look like,
I have it together.
You have it all together. But inside, you're a crazy visionary, and I love that.
Yes. Thank you.
You're so fun. So we'll talk soon again. If and when I have a chance to do a show house, I will be calling you.
We could collaborate.
Maybe we could collaborate. Okay. Well, there's so much in our futures.
I know.
For sure. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We had a good crew here. I didn't see any big questions, although we did share your handle. I think I put it in there correctly. Somebody asked, and so I put it in there correctly. I didn't see any other big questions. Like I said, people are just so entertained by us. They don't even need to ask questions. They just love to watch us talk, right, guys?
Yay!
Thanks again, Megan. I'll see you soon for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.